Let us study this biogeochemical cycle. I had splitted this complete word into three parts: bio, geo and chemical. Now we all know the meaning of the word is life. Geo means the soil and chemical, it is related with the various nutrients which are present in the soil. So this biogeochemical cycle, it is said to be the nutrient cycle which operates between the soil and the living organism. We all know soil is nothing but the abiotic component, whereas all the living creatures, they form the biotic component. So this flow of nutrients between the biotic and abiotic component is known as biogeochemical cycle. We all have seen in the last part that energy is one directional flow. That is, it is taking place from one level to another, but it never returns back. Whereas this biogeochemical cycle or the nutrient cycle is one of the important nutrient which is required, and it is one of the important cycle. Now this flow of nutrients within an ecosystem is called the biogeochemical cycle. Nutrients, these are necessary for the growth of organisms, and they are continuously transferred from biotic to abiotic and abiotic to biotic factor within an ecosystem. This cycle, it operates continuously through the medium of biosphere. Now we all know that our earth, it consists of all the components of the air and it forms the atmosphere. So air is nothing but it forms the atmospheric plant. Then we also know that all the water bodies which are present on the earth, they form the hydrosphere. So this is another important sphere of the earth. Then all the mountains, rocks, crevices, they form the third important sphere, that is the lithosphere. Now in the earth, the life is possible because of the interaction between these three spheres. So when earth is formed, then we have the interaction in all these three spheres. It forms the biosphere. This is the basic reason why life is possible on the earth. When we compare it with other planets in the solar system, then all the important features which are needed for the sustainable life are present on the earth only. So this interaction between atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere is responsible for the life on the earth. It is with the help of this sphere that the nutrient cycles are operating in the nature. This recycling of biological, geological and chemical sources of nutrients in this process, it is a very complex process and it depends upon the levels of energy transfer in an ecosystem. Now there are two types of biogeochemical cycle. The first type is known as gaseous cycle. Now gaseous cycle is nothing but the accumulation of the main abiotic gaseous nutrient material which is found in the earth atmosphere. So if it is present in the earth atmosphere, it is known as a gaseous cycle. For example, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, these are all the gaseous cycle which are operating in the nature. The second type of biogeochemical cycle is known as sedimentary cycle. Now this sedimentary cycle is nothing but the accumulation of the main abiotic nutrient material which are present in the soil. Sedimentary means the soil part. So when the nutrients are present in the soil part, that type of biogeochemical cycle is known as sedimentary cycle. It includes iron, calcium, phosphorus and so on. So this is the example of sedimentary cycle. The gaseous cycle is a speedier cycle than the sedimentary cycle. For example, if carbon dioxide has accumulated in an area, it is quickly dispersed with the veins or absorbed by the plants. The climatic changes, human activities, they seriously affect the speed and intensity of an equilibrium of these cycles. Hence, various aspects of these cycles are extensively studied nowadays. So students, this is how the biogeochemical cycle operates in nature. I hope you have understood this. Hello students, let us begin with the first biogeochemical cycle, that is the carbon cycle. Now the circulation and recycling of carbon from atmosphere to living organism and after their death back to the atmosphere is called the carbon cycle. We all know that the main source of carbon which is available to us is the atmospheric carbon dioxide. Now these abiotic carbon atoms, they are circulated, they are recycled into biotic forms mainly through the photosynthesis and respiration. Hence carbon cycle is one of the important biological cycle. Now let us explain this cycle. So you can see that the carbon dioxide which is present in the atmosphere is utilized by the plants and they are absorbed by the plants, and with the help of photosynthesis they carry out the food preparation. Now here the plants, they are eaten up by the animal. Okay, now these plants and animals, both of them, after their death and decay, they remains in the soil, and in this way a fossil is formed. A fossil is formed, and these fossils such as coal, petrol, diesel, they are all the fossil forms of it, and these fossils when they are burned, so carbon dioxide is again added to the atmosphere. Now this carbon dioxide is also added to the atmosphere with the help of one more process, that is respiration. In this way, with the help of photosynthesis, it is consumed by the plants, but with the help of respiration it is added to the atmosphere. In this way the carbon dioxide operates in nature, whereas in water bodies this carbon dioxide is absorbed as carbonates, bicarbonates which are dissolved, which are present in the fossils. So fossils, after their burning, after their decomposition or utilization, they are again added to the atmosphere. The two main processes which are involved in the carbon cycle are shown here. I hope you all have studied it in the lower class. The first one, that is 6CO2 plus 12H2O in the presence of sunlight in the chlorophyll pigment gives C6H12O6 plus 6H2O plus 6O2. So you can see that by absorbing carbon dioxide by the plants, carbon dioxide it utilizes and it gets converted into carbohydrate and oxygen gas is released. So this is nothing but the most important photosynthesis reaction. The second reaction is, I guess you can get the answer, that is, it is the respiration reaction. Here you can see whatever food we consume, so the carbohydrate which is present in the food, it is reacting with the oxygen which we are inhaling, and it gets converted into carbon dioxide, water molecule, and energy is released. This energy we utilized for various life activities. All this reaction takes place in the mitochondria region. You have studied in the lower class that mitochondria, they are called the powerhouse of the cell. In this way, these two processes are very important in the carbon cycle. So I had explained you here in the diagram. I had directly mentioned you that photosynthesis and respiration are the two processes with the help of which exchange of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, that is abiotic component, and in the biotic component, how this exchange takes place. So I hope you have understood this concept of carbon cycle. Students, let us begin with the second or biogeochemical cycle, that is oxygen cycle. We all know oxygen is the life supporting gas which is required by all living organisms. Now this oxygen is present only in the 21% in the atmosphere. It is also present in the hydrosphere and lithosphere. This circulation and recycling of oxygen within the biosphere is called the oxygen cycle. This cycle, it too involves the biotic and abiotic components. Oxygen is continuously produced as well as it is used up in the atmosphere. Oxygen is highly reactive. Let us first study the properties of oxygen. So oxygen, it is highly reactive. It readily reacts with other elements and compounds. As oxygen is found in various forms like molecular oxygen, water, carbon dioxide, inorganic compounds, etc., this oxygen cycle of biosphere is extremely complex. Oxygen is released by the process of photosynthesis, whereas it is used up in the processes like respiration, combustion, decomposition, corrosion, rusting, etc. So now let us go through this oxygen cycle which I had shown here. It is a very simple process. I had given you a very simple flow chart of this oxygen cycle. Now the oxygen which is present in the atmosphere is used by plants, animals and other living organisms for the process of respiration. So during respiration we inhale the gas which is rich in oxygen. Now after the death and decay of all the living organisms, decomposition reaction takes place. The dead bodies remain there in the soil for thousands of years, which ultimately gives the fossil fuel. So the fossil fuels are formed. We all know the examples: coal, petrol, diesel and so on. These are all the fossil fuels which are present in the soil and they remains there. Now when these fossil fuels are used, decomposition of the carbon compound takes place and we get various other gases also, and in this way when it is burned, it releases the oxygen in the atmosphere. Also we know the rusting and corrosion. That is, rusting means the iron, it reacts with the oxygen which is present in the water and it forms the hydrated iron. Corrosion is nothing but the degradation of the metal, in which again reaction with oxygen of the water molecule takes place. In this way you can see how the oxygen cycle operates in the ecosystem. Now in this process, oxygen, it enters from abiotic component to biotic component. After the death and decay or while using the fossil fuel, again oxygen is released from abiotic component and it is added to the atmosphere. The main source with the help of which oxygen is added to the atmosphere is nothing but the photosynthesis. Green plants, they carry out the process of photosynthesis. In this way during the daytime oxygen is released and it gets added to the atmosphere. In this way with the simple flow chart we can explain the oxygen cycle in nature. Now let us begin with the last cycle of the biogeochemical cycle, that is nitrogen cycle. We all know nitrogen forms 78%, that is maximum portion of the atmosphere. It is necessary for the maintenance of cycle of nature, circulation, recycling of this nitrogen into the forms of different compounds through various biotic and abiotic process in nature is called nitrogen cycle. All living organisms participate in this nitrogen cycle. It is an important component of proteins, nucleic acids. As compared to other elements, it is an inactive and does not easily combine with other elements. Most organisms cannot use the free form of nitrogen. Now you can see in this diagram of nitrogen cycle that nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere is first needed to be converted into such form which can be directly consumed by the plants and animals. So this process of converting the nitrogen into its compound is known as nitrogen fixation. Here I had given you the importance of the process. Nitrogen fixation means conversion of atmospheric nitrogen into its oxides. These are the oxides, nitrites and nitrates. So these oxides, they can be easily consumed by the plants. Now this nitrogen fixation, it takes place by three processes. First is the lightning. during rainy season, wherever lightning takes place, then in the high altitude in the atmosphere, this nitrogen, it combines with the oxygen and it gets converted into its compound, that is nitrogen dioxide and nitrogen trioxide. The second process with the help of which nitrogen fixation takes place is the bacteria. We all know that in the roots of the leguminous plant, these bacteria, especially rhizobium bacteria, they are present in the colonies. These bacteria, they absorb atmospheric nitrogen and converts it into its compound. So in this way, this is the second type, that is biological process with the help of which atmospheric nitrogen gets entry into the plant's life. The third process is the industry. Various industrial processes, they also add atmospheric nitrogen. It converts it into the compounds. Now once the compounds of nitrogen are formed, then they are consumed by the plants and the animals. So plants and animals, they consume these available oxides of the nitrogen, and here they make their own requirements. Plants, they make their own proteins, own amino acids, whereas animals, they also make their own requirement. We all know nitrogen, it forms the most important part of our diet also. DNA, deoxyribose nucleic acid, it is also having nitrogen as one of the important constituents. Now after the death and decay of plants and animals, various changes takes place, various conversion takes place, and these conversions are carried out by various microorganisms. So first is the ammonification. In ammonification, the dead remains of plants and animals and their excreta are converted into ammonia. So this ammonification is carried out by certain fungi and bacteria. During volcanic eruption also, we know that ammonia gets added to the atmosphere. Then now the bacteria, they also convert this ammonia and nitrogen compound into gaseous nitrogen. This process is known as denitrification. Especially Pseudomonas, Clostridium bacteria, they are responsible for this conversion. That is, nitrogen compounds are converted into gaseous or atmospheric nitrogen. In this way, the nitrogen cycle, it occurs in the atmosphere. So this is the chart which gives you the brief account of the nitrogen cycle in the atmosphere. So I hope you have understood it, and now you can thoroughly prepare your lesson. So all the best for your lessons and exams. Thank you very much.